Just a little background on the work. I grew up in West Dallas and went to school in Milwaukee, and then in the last few years moved out to a little town called Stoddard, which is 10 miles south of La Crosse, so we're right on the Mississippi River. And it's a town of 794 people, and so it's hard being a new person, especially being an artist where you're used to being ingrained in your kind of community. And so I decided a way to kind of bring all my goals together would be to try to paint as many people that live on our street as possible. And so we live on the dead end of Pearl Street, so it's called the Pearl Street Project. And so the lowest hanging fruit was my neighbor, the older of the two gentlemen, Eugene, and I got to go to his house every day and paint him for about 3 weeks. And one of the purposes of the project is you're going to get to know somebody better, you've got to spend the time with them. So it's no photography. I go in and I sit with them in their house until the painting's done. And he was only 3 weeks, and I kept asking him, I'm just like, well, can I come back tomorrow? And he kept saying yes. And I'm like, well, am I taking advantage of you? I'm kind of taking over your house. And he's like, what the hell else am I supposed to do? So I went over there every day, and it was fabulous. It was like fast forward painting. And then the other fella, the idea was that Eugene would bring me to the next neighbor, which I didn't know. Like, he'd be the ambassador. And then I would plant myself in the next neighbor's house, and that would be the ambassador. I'd just get passed down the street. And the idea kind of started taking these tangential ways. And so John is, the third painting into it, or fourth, third and a half, it depends. And he lives a few blocks away, but I met him because he helped us tear down some trees that had fallen. You know what I mean? Neighbors help out each other. He had the time, and he was willing to sit, and that's really the two things I need from a person. It's their time and a place to sit. And so I just finished that before the show opened, so I brought it here wet. And that took about 6 months because he had less time than my neighbor. But yeah, that was the idea, is to move into a new place and to, really kind of inject yourself into the community and really, really take the time and give people the time to reveal themselves and then come up with a painting. So hopefully there's more coming. But yeah, that was the whole idea behind it. So there we are. Thank you very much.